Okay. This is a section that I'm going to buzz through really quick because it doesn't necessarily apply to all of you, but all of you may be interested in our recommendations for maximizing your body composition or losing body fat. Okay? These are things that I do not necessarily recommend that you put in a lifestyle plan. I'm not recommending that you do all of these things all the time, but if you have a goal of getting your weight down, getting body fat down, and getting your body composition shaped up, this is the plan to follow. So first and foremost, focus on your proteins and fats first. Proteins and fats are going to keep your insulin levels stable, and when your blood sugar and insulin levels are stable, you will burn fat. So stick with your proteins and your fats. Those are the things that are key. So you know where to find those now, right? In your reference guides. Look for the green areas, your primary proteins and your primary fats. Those are the things you want to focus on. Eliminate all added sugars and white carbohydrates. I do not mean cauliflower, but I do mean potatoes. Again, I did not say long-term. This is short-term stuff. If you want to cut 5% body fat or 10% body fat in 4 or 6 weeks, do this. Go back to eating potatoes afterwards. Eliminate all added sugars and white carbs. Another thing I'd add to this is eliminate gluten. I would also tell people who have allergies or asthma, any inflammatory type of disease process or symptom process that's going on in your life right now, get rid of gluten and get rid of dairy now. And cut it out for at least 4 weeks and see how you feel. I will tell you this right up front. Usually the first couple days you will feel like someone just like pulled a plug out of the like little pinky toe on one side and all the energy just drained out of your body. You will feel terrible. But day 3 and day 4, you'll have energy come back like you never imagined. Most of us have allergies, if not big allergies, most of us have small allergies to these foreign proteins that are in our processed foods. And if you get rid of foods that have lots of gluten in them, you will be eliminating these foreign proteins. And this inflammatory response that your immune system is using to try to fight off these foreign proteins and respond to these foreign proteins, you will feel excellent. You'll have energy, and you will begin to burn fat and lose body fat immediately. Okay? Eliminate all dairy from the diet, and this pretty much means cheese too. Sometimes it depends on how aggressive I want to get with this. I might still allow a little raw cheese in some of the meals, but most of the time it's just get rid of dairy. You're not drinking milk at this point in time. You're not eating yogurt. You do not need, believe me, you're not going to have a calcium problem if you do this, okay? We have all kinds of people consuming all kinds of dairy today, and we've got big problems with bones. It's not the calcium deficiency, I can promise you. So eliminate the dairy from the diet. Again, we're talking short-term, we're not talking lifestyle. Use simple flavorings like Redmond's Real Salt. Vinegar is a great seasoning for food, as well as raw oils. Has anyone here ever had raw walnut oil? It's got a phenomenal flavor to it. Or raw sesame oil, if you want it to have a little bit of an Asian taste to it. You can do all kinds of things just with getting different types of raw oils. Just make sure that they are not processed. By saying raw, it's not going to be processed. It's just squeezed out of a seed. Okay? Do not be buying processed canola oils and things like that, processed vegetable oils. Those are not the things that we're talking about here. Eliminate fruit from your daily diet. Remember, this is not lifestyle. I know I'm losing some of you here. This is short term. If you want results, this is a short-term thing. Eliminate fruit. By getting rid of even that little bit of sugar, it'll continue to help stabilize your blood sugar. It'll keep your insulin and leptin levels where they need to be, and you will be losing body fat now. You will be getting your minerals and enzymes in your veggies. Okay? I'm not risking your lives with this, I promise you. I've done this many times. You'll get your stuff through your veggies. You don't need the fruit. For carbohydrates, focus on legumes and non-starchy vegetables. And make sure that they're organic if possible, and especially if they're canned. And when I say canned, I'm more or less talking about the beans. Do not eat canned vegetables. You've got fresh produce and you've got frozen produce. Both of those are better options than canned. All right? So when it comes to the beans, make sure that you're rinsing your beans off. Dump them in a strainer. Let the starchy liquid that they're in, let it drain out and rinse them off. Okay? That's what I mean when I'm talking canned mostly is the beans. So for carbs, you're pretty much looking to your vegetables and non-starchy root vegetables for your carbohydrates. And you can see the list here on page 410 in your lesson, the list of what we're talking about as far as the various different vegetables and things like that. And we do even have tomato on here. Yes, I do know tomato's a fruit. But tomato's okay as well. You can have tomato in there. You must eat breakfast. For those of you who skip breakfast and are wondering why you've got a health problem, newsflash. You have to eat breakfast. It's kind of common sense, because if you think about it, you have gone all the way from the dinner the day before. Does anyone realize what sleep is for? It's for repair and healing. Your body, your brain, is 5 times more active when you sleep than when you're awake. Some of you have said, yeah, I've had some dreams, and holy cow. I can fly and stuff. I can fly and stuff when I'm sleeping. I must be active. Your brain is wildly active. Your body is busy, because finally it got your conscious mind out of the way and your worrying mind out of the way. Now it can just get to work. You have slept all that time. You have done all this repair. And then you're going to tell me you're not going to eat until noon? The next day? You're literally going more than half of a 24-hour day without even putting a nutrient in your body. And most of you who don't eat breakfast drink something unintelligent in the morning to get you going. You those with the Diet Coke addiction, you know what I'm talking about. Eat breakfast. It will change your life. I promise you. If there's one meal you eat in the day, it's got to be breakfast. So make sure, preferably 30 minutes upon waking. Those of you who have a little bit of a shaky stomach, who might need to wait a little bit longer, try to get it in. Try to get your breakfast in within an hour of waking if you can. Okay? And if you still have a problem with eating in the morning because you're getting used to it, use a shake. Because a shake will be a lot easier for you to digest. Just make sure you've got the right protein in it. Take one day off as a free day and eat anything you want if it's sourced properly. Yes, I just added that. What this means is if you're going to be really strict like this, you can't do it every day of every week for 4 weeks straight. You have got to take a day off. Not just for your sanity, but to reset your body. You have got to reset your metabolism. You've got to shock your system a little bit. And then the next day you can just roll right back into it. But you have to take one day off. Pick the day where you like to go out and have dinner, normally, or you normally would have an event on that day if it's a Saturday for you or if it's a Sunday. Pick your day off and stick with it. And that's the day where you just simply do not have to worry about what you eat. But don't give up on the whole thing. Still keep food sourcing in mind. Don't just go out and eat junk. right? Don't eat foods that are made from GMO ingredients because that's still a bad idea. So this is where I would try to look for healthy junk food. It just means it's made of a bunch of real whole food ingredients that may not necessarily be something you eat all the time. Okay? That free day is important. Don't try to go Rambo on me and skip it. Okay? Do it. It's very important for you. Eat every 4 hours. The reason I would like you to do that is because in what we've seen work is if you try to go longer, what happens is your metabolism begins to slow down. And when your blood sugar begins to drop, it means there's a potential for it to jump when you eat again. So eating every 4 hours is going to, at least every 4 hours. You can eat every 3 if you'd like. But this is going to depend on your meal planning strategy. Eating every 4 hours is really going to help keep things mellow. It's going to keep you real even-keeled. You're not going to get that dip in the afternoon. You guys know what I'm talking about. That dip where you feel like you're going to fall asleep at like 2 o'clock. Keep this consistent, and you'll feel wonderful. Okay? Slow down when you eat, and only eat until you are satisfied, because you will become more full over the next 10 minutes. When you feel you're about on the edge of being satisfied, just wait a little bit. Even if you didn't eat all your food, just pack up the rest and take it home for dinner or whatever. But just slow down a little bit and eat only until you're satisfied, and you will find out that it will change a lot. This is actually a really good time to evaluate your thought processes, because a lot of us, I should say, I'm not outside of this, a lot of us, we tend to want more. It's probably maybe more the guys than the women, but we just want more. If we have one burger patty, 2 must be better. It's just this thought process we go through. Somehow we justify just eating more must be better. Just take 1 to begin with, eat it slowly, and you'll be surprised that you'll actually be full. And then you might get hungry 3 hours later instead of being able to go until, the next day without eating. So keep those portions down a little bit. Watch how you react to that, by the way, because you'll find some things that some programs you've been running on for a while. So, is all this stuff pretty straightforward? It's really nothing you've never heard before. But these are our top things when it comes to what you want to accomplish. It's very, very basic.